Samaya Mughal.
BBC Radio Leicester.
Right, let's just chat makeup a moment, please. I would like to take this moment to just appreciate mascara, eyeshadow, lipstick, contouring, all the things that I can't imagine that I don't think I've applied any of these in a lifetime, what it feels like. But as many women will know, there is an art to applying makeup. But what you might not realise is that there's also some science involved too. Sav Samuel from Leicester is not only a science teacher but also a qualified makeup artist, and during lockdown she's combined both her passions to build a makeup academy, especially to help people learn about different skin tones and ethnicities. Sav, good morning, welcome to the programme.
Hi Samaya, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here today.
I'm excited to have you on because these are two things that I did not think of putting together, science and makeup. So let's go back. Tell me the story. How did you combine these two passions?
Well, so I've been a science teacher for 14 years in an inner city school in Leicester. And, I was that little girl who watched my mum apply makeup and was always so fascinated with how she would create these different looks. So while I was working as a teacher, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this. I went to beauty school, I trained over the weekend, and I qualified as a makeup artist. So that's where this came along. And then that's where I opened my makeup business, Glow by S. Samuel. So yeah, it's been pretty hectic and super busy. So yeah.
Has your science teaching at all helped you when it comes to training as a makeup artist?
Well, so there is an art to makeup, like you said. So, when we're looking at, for example, different skin tones, we have to also look at color theory, which is looking at like the color wheel, looking at skin tones, undertones. We also look at the anatomy of the face, the facial structure. We look at face shapes, eye shapes, and then we have to then look at person as an individual and how we can apply makeup and look at symmetry. So there really is so much science involved.
What was the reasoning behind you wanting to pass your skill set on to other people, Sav?
Yeah, so while I was training as a makeup artist 6 years ago, one thing became very apparent, and that was a lack of diversity. And what I mean by that is there just wasn't enough opportunities to work with different skin tones, ages, textures, ethnicities. So when I went out as a newly qualified makeup artist, I just didn't feel confident enough to work with everyone. And, it was quite disheartening because you spend so much money, invest so much time, and then when I would get someone or a client with a darker skin tone, I'd panic. I would panic, and that's when I thought that this is not fair. This is not fair on my clients, and it's just something that wasn't really being taught or in the makeup education as I think it should have been in detail. It's such an important thing. So this is where I thought something needs to be done about this. And, I took full accountability. I educated myself on this. I took every opportunity to work on everyone so that everyone could feel confident, so I could give that same experience to everyone regardless of their skin tone. So it's something that I've just really, close to my heart. So that's where these courses have also come in.
You mentioned it's close to your heart. What's the reasoning for that, Sav?
Right, so my children are also mixed race, so they're Indian and Antiguan, and I never want them to feel singled out because of the colour of their skin. And I remember once I had one client, and she was telling me how she was once told to bring her own foundation on set by a makeup artist because they just didn't have the right colour. And this really upset me, and I put myself in her shoes, and I thought, imagine if that was my daughter, how would that make her feel? I just don't want anyone to feel singled out because of the colour of their skin. And that's why this academy is really going to have a big push on inclusion, where students will really be able to work on, diverse range of models and diverse range of people, so they can work on different skin tones, different age groups. And, I really want students to not struggle the way I did. And it's not just me. I know a lot of newly qualified makeup artists feel this way when they go out in the real world to work on clients. Don't feel confident enough to work on people. So I want students to feel really confident to give them that really good start to their business.
Do you think in the industry as a whole there is a shift towards an appreciation for more diverse skin types and also, face shapes as well? It's not just your skin, it's your features. Your features are inherently different if you are, say, Black British or you are Asian or you are white, whatever it is. And that, I assume, is also going to have an impact on the way in which you do your makeup.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there has been a massive shift, and You know, I think this is something that has been happening for a long time, but with social media and media, brands are being called up for this, you know, not being inclusive enough. So I've definitely noticed a massive change in this. So we are moving in the right direction. But, you know, I do definitely think there still needs to be a little bit more done. And I think that is through educating and definitely raising awareness.
Now, Sav, the other thing that stood out to me, which I thought was quite interesting, was teaching about textured or problematic skin and how to apply makeup in those sort of situations. Talk to me about the theory and the thought behind that.
Yeah, so this is where you use colour theory. So, for example, if you have acne or if there's melasma or you have any redness on the face, you use colour theory to help you with that. So this is where we use the colour wheel and we use complementary colours. So the opposite of red on the colour wheel is green. So you would use a green colour corrector to neutralise that area. And then on top, you would then apply your foundation, which will then won't make it look ashy and it will just give you that right colour match. So, you know, there really is so much that goes into this, especially with looking at problematic skin and even dark circles. You know, you would apply an orange color corrector in that area because it's a kind of more of a blue tone area and the opposite of blue is orange. So yeah, it can get quite technical, but I mean, these are all the things that I want students to be really confident about so they feel confident to work on everyone.
Sav, what's your perspective on leading makeup brands and whether they're doing enough when it comes to inclusivity, not only when it comes to problematic skin types, but also in relation to diversity? Some brands are better than others, but as a makeup artist, in your experience, what do you think?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I think there is definitely a major shift happening here, and I think it's really important, especially, you know, that the world that we live in, you know, we live in a diverse world, and I really think it's important that the diversity is there and we are inclusive and we do represent everyone so that everyone feels valued. And I do feel that brands are moving that way, and brands that aren't are being called out. So I think, you know, it's definitely a shift that's happening in a positive way, and I think that, you know, we are seeing a change.
Now, you're doing these courses that are going to start mid-February in Leicester. How are you feeling ahead of starting your courses? Because from what I've gauged, you're a science teacher, you're a mum, and you've just opened a business. And then you're going to start teaching other people how to do what you've learned. I mean, that's a lot of stuff that you've got on your plate by the sounds of it, Sav, but all exciting.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting. You know, it's not plain sailing, believe me. But, you know, when you're doing something that you're so passionate about, it just makes it that little bit easier. And I've got a really good support network around me, family, my husband. So that all, you know, all that little helps as well. So I think, you know, it's it's exciting times. And what I do know, I mean, with COVID, everything, we've also found a venue. So I'm super excited about that. We're just waiting for the go ahead on that. And all of that will be announced soon on my social media. So my heart is really set on a February date. But like I said, we're just waiting for the go-ahead. And but one thing I do definitely know that we will be starting at the beginning of the year. So it will be an 8-week course. So where students will run over 8 Saturdays, so they can also get to reflect on their learning and practice their craft. So, yeah, I'm really super excited about it all.
I'm going to have to take part because I think lockdown's been one of them where I've actually forgotten how to apply makeup. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, come along.
I'm now scared of my eyeliner. I used to be really good at it, honestly. I used to be well good at getting that wing in, you know, that little triangle on the corner of your eye to make you look a little bit, you know. But I have not worn that in so long. I think it's probably dried out and I'm quite scared, I think, when it comes to applying it. So I'm going to have to pop along. Tell us your social media then, Sav, so we can follow you and get more information if you're interested.
Yeah, so my social media is, I'm on Instagram mainly, so it's Glow by S. Samuel. And my website, you can also find me on glowbysamuel.com. So everything will be announced on there, and yeah, that's where you can find me.